When the rhythm come down falling on you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Play a mask, play a mask. Life is just a masquerade. Play a mask, play a mask. Join up with the big parade. Play a mask, play a mask. On the front line living large. Play a mask, play a mask. Jump up, show them who in charge. Oh, 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 boom bam. Wadang, 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 gele. Oh, 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 boom bam. Hey, ange. Oh, oh, boom bam. Wadang, 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 gele. Oh, oh, boom bam. Hey, wadang, gele. But when I feel the shocking vibes, it was no joke. Sweetness gripped me in a vice. My body start to jerk on the ground and high above. I hear in bass. A rhythm caress me back and slip down my waist. It pull me left to right, hanging on to the beat. Feel the heat flow down my legs, steady my feet. A woman jam me from in front, a next one from behind. Wind me right down to the ground when I rise. I was feeling fine. It's heat, father. When the rhythm come down falling on you, what you gonna do? It's sweet, mama. When the rhythm come down falling on you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Play a mask, play a mask. Life is just a masquerade. Play a mask, play a mask. Join up with the big parade. Play a mask, play a mask. On the front line living large. Play a mask, play a mask. Jump up, show them who in charge. Oh, 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 boom bam. Wadang, 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 gele. Oh, 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 boom bam. Hey, ange. Oh, 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 boom bam. Wadang, 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 gele. Oh, oh, boom bam. Hey, wadang, gele. We bounce up back to back in the heat of night. The touch of our body set me on fire. I wheel and turn around just to see the sight. Take a chance, I put myself on the wire. The way she take my head was instant and deadly. All I had was rhythm dread to hold and protect me. I got an instant vision dread. The girl was a player, come to mess up with my head. I'll tell she later. It's heat, father. When the rhythm come down falling on you, what you gonna do? It's sweet, mama. When the rhythm come down falling on you, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Play a mask, play a mask. Life is just a masquerade. Play a mask, play a mask. Join up with the big parade. Play a mask, play a mask. On the front line living large. Play a mask, play a mask. Jump up, show them who in charge. It's heat, father. Wadang, 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 gele. It's sweet, mama. It's heat, father. Wadang, 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 gele. It's sweet, mama. Hey, wadang, gele. It's heat, father. Wadang, 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 gele. It's sweet, mama. It's heat, father. Wadang, 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 gele. It's sweet, mama.
In March 1970, men from university marched all over town in a silent song.
Okay, that means it's time for me to go. We're going to be headed out to Eye on Dependency in minutes. And of course, you can look forward to more entertainment-wise with, what's it called?
With your right hand in the air like a tower, and every man shouting power, power, power. The leader constructor told me no surrender. Macho Caroni, a peaceful journey. But when they meet the big man, shouting power too. And he did already know how the chorus go. With your right hand in the air like a tower, and every man shouting power, power, power. With your right hand in the air like a tower, and every man shouting power, power, power. spray a little gas and keep watching fast. But when a fella get the wrong idea, start to interfere. Is there the movie?
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays, at 10 a.m., and exclusively, on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live, on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page, and YouTube channel.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world by extension, and welcome to Eye on Dependency, right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. I am Garth.
And I'm Natasha. Thank you so much for joining us. As we approach the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons on the 30th of July, today's program shines a light on a very real and very dangerous link between drug trafficking and human trafficking.
You'll also hear the voices of two Jamaican women, both arrested here in Trinidad in separate cases after being caught trying to bring in illegal drugs. But their stories go beyond smuggling. They show how recruitment, deception, and desperation are used to pull people into trafficking. Networks sometimes without them trafficking networks, sometimes without them fully understanding the risks.
We'll be sharing a series of clips today from both women, Cherry, who was once a recruiter herself, and Janice, who was caught with drugs in her suitcase at Piarco International. Their words are raw, honest, and a reminder of how easily lives can be manipulated and derailed.
It's a tough listen, but an important one. It's vacation time. Employers are going to be busy. Now, there's the employed and the employer, or the employee and the employer. The employer is the one who woke up one day and say, I think I'll traffic drugs for a living, or I'll traffic people for a living, and decide to do that. What made them make that decision? Heaven alone knows. However, there's always a price to pay for that. But there are always victims, and there are always fallouts. There are people who don't even know they're walking into a trap. Vacation time, it escalates a bit. And just keep in mind, just as people bought drugs here to get, and traffic people here to get financial stability, for want of a better word, and it's sad to know that there are people who will fall victim to this, and this is what we're going to deal with here today. Like we said, it's a tough listen, but there are people who would want to get drugs now to other countries, just as there are people who want to get drugs here to our country to poison our citizens. Some of the Caribbean citizens do the same, even locals here. So please pay attention, pay very close attention to what is being said by these young ladies. Speak with your children. Stay with us as we explore the deeper story behind these crimes and the systems that make it possible. So we're going to go to a break?
Yeah, so before we do, I would like to join in celebrating the birthday, Earth Strong, as some people say, of one of our very special partners in drug prevention and recovery, Miss Beverly Morrison, who's the director of Serenity Place Empowerment Center. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Beverly, from us, Garth and myself, and on the entire Independency family. I hope you have a great one. I would not reveal your age, but because I know that's a touchy thing for some people.
I don't think that'll
But,
be for Beverly, though, because Beverly has been open about everything, so I don't think she would.
True. According to Facebook, she'll be 68 years old. So happy birthday.
She doesn't even look close to that.
No,
Beverly,
absolutely not.
Trinidad and Tobago, Beverly, one of the soldiers
Absolutely.
on the fight against drug abuse and illicit trafficking, especially drug abuse, substance abuse. She housed women down there at Cochrane Village in Point. And I want to wish her all the best. I just wish we as an NGO could have done more for her and Serenity Place, but God alone knows, time will tell. But we really want to keep supporting them, and folks just keep them in mind too. She takes care of the women who are trying to make their way out of that dungeon called substance abuse. So
and before we go, we also we didn't have a chance to do this last week, but we want to extend our condolences to the family and friends and colleagues of Kay Allen, that Tobagonian songstress who passed away last week.
And also J.C. Wickham.
Yes, Gillian Wickham, who filmed and edited some of our Eye on Dependency EOD TV series, media professional and a dear friend to many people. Rest in peace to both those amazing women.
So, folks, this is it here. Without further delay, we go to a break, and as indicated, these are dedicated to some of the people who fell for it, who got caught, and their families. And congratulations at the same time to our law enforcement, customs, and all of the other units who work at the airport for their due diligence. And I'm sure this is just the dust. You know, they've done a lot of interdictions, and we want to, tell them to continue the good work. I think that the SIU is part of that as well. So, Trinidad and Tobago, it's nice to know that we still have decent, honest agents out there working on behalf of you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But there's a thing that will not be stopped. We just have to do prevention and damage control, try to save people from taking that offer and leaving this country to go poison other people's children. Let's go to that break. When we return, you'll hear from Sherry, and we also hope that you share the live. Please remember to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel especially. And we still have those curricula tickets. We only have until month end, folks, so please reach out and let's get them circulating. All right, so let's go to that break. We'll be back with Postcards from Yard featuring Sherry and Janice. Stay right there. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that I'm locked up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Tobago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, all right. Don't drop the soap. Carry on.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on Eye 95.5 FM.
Support the Eye on Dependency Curricula fundraiser by Hot Shop. Just $55 gets you 1 wrap or 2 mini rotis. From 16th June to 30th July. Get your tickets today. Call or message 75663337 to enjoy a delicious Hot Shop roti and support your favorite radio program.
Join us this Sunday, July 13th for episode 28 of Eye on Dependency Reality Radio at its best.
2 Jamaican nationals, 2 separate journeys, but the same dangerous intersection of drug and human trafficking. This Sunday on Eye on Dependency, as World Day Against Trafficking in Persons approaches. we shine a light on how traffickers use recruitment and deception. The act, combined with promises and manipulation. The means to exploit people for profit. The purpose. Cherry, once a recruiter herself, explains how it worked.
I was getting girls to bring jobs from Jamaica to either Barbados, Trinidad, or anywhere the money is.
Janice recalls the moment she was caught at Piarco.
The custom officer searched my suitcase and he took out my clothing. As he took out the first clothing, he just started dropping out of the suitcase.
Real voices, real stories, real consequences. Listen live from 10 a.m. on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. The Counter-Trafficking Unit, Ministry of Homeland Security brings you Eye on Dependency. We don't just share stories, we change lives.
Thank you for staying with us, and we apologize for that little break in transmission. You weren't able to hear, those of you online and on the radio weren't able to hear our video, but you'll have a chance later on in the show. We want to start our piece, this Postcards from Yard series, which was first broadcast in 2013. And we are replaying this in the lead up to World Day Against Trafficking in Persons because we do recognize the strong link between drug trafficking and human trafficking. And these are two women who have experienced both because they were caught and they themselves were trafficked because they ended up in prison with no control over their physical beings. They were detained and imprisoned as a result of agreeing to traffic drugs.
And this is the time, once again, to learn about the act, means, and purpose of human trafficking.
Yep.
Right? So, remember, we always have that as a front burner, and the CTU always try to keep that awareness. And you could understand the difference and when it's going to happen, before it happens, and you take evasive action. So, let's go to Sherry first. Listen to what Sherry had to say.
And in these first clips from Cherry, you'll play the first three and then come back to us. These first clips from Cherry, she'll talk about her background, where she's from, her relationships with her parents and her grandparents, and basically set up what she is going to eventually experience. And the same for Janice. She will talk about her family relationships and what led her to this position that she found herself in.
Let's go.
My mother has 5 brothers, and I am the second to last. I have a younger sister. I'm 21 years old. My sister is 21. This year I'm going to be 22. And I didn't want to live with my mother. My younger sister, she used to live with my mother before she went to England. Then my sister went to live with her father because we have 2 different fathers. She went to live with her father and I was with my father. Holiday time, I didn't really want to go down to my mother because it's my free time and I didn't want to under that strict.
Wait, is your mother a religious person?
She's a Rastafarian, so it was even more stricter. So I didn't want to stay there. But she communicates with me regularly when she was in England. She called because we share the same birthday. So she contacted me regularly. So my grandparents, they're not really up in age. My grandma is just 62 right now. And at that time, they didn't really have a problem with what I was doing because they wanted to please me instead of anything else. And they didn't want me to run away from home, so they tried.
So you took advantage of that?
Yes, I did. I'm not going to lie, I did. I took advantage of the whole situation.
Because they know you were going through your trauma from your dad.
Yes. So I used to use the library as excuse to go to party.
The library?
Yes, on Saturdays. On weekends, I would use the library as excuse with my clothing in my bag to go to party.
So you would leave home?
Yes, with my clothing, yes.
Very saintly and so on?
Yes.
But you have
Yeah.
Pasa clothes in your bag.
Yeah. I was well trusted, so I would go home and stay with friends at friends' house and stuff. So
how late does the library open?
the library closes at 5:30 in the evenings, and I will hang around. I will hang around in the town for a while, then go to my friend's house, take a shower and change in the night and go to parties. And then my grandparents sat down and had a conversation with me about that. So I stopped partying for a while.
They find you were going too hard at it.
Yes, I was.
What was that conversation like?
It was more like, you need to be more responsible now. You're almost an adult, and it's time for your exam, so you need to be more focused. And remember, you don't really have any parents here. Your father is dead, and your mother lives in England, and we are trying with you. So you have to make the best of it. I have some family. They do that. They would ask somebody to do it, and they would be the one to send the person away. At first, that's what I was doing. I was getting girls to bring drugs.
From where?
From Jamaica to either Barbados, Trinidad, or anywhere the money is. That's where we sending
a
back.
recruiter. So you would convince girls that, okay, you're going to get this amount of money if you take this.
I was hiring people to go about bringing drugs. I would see my younger cousins on the phone making some contacts. I was wondering, what are they doing? I asked the question and they told me. They said, well, then I don't want you to be the one to traffic. I rather you to get the people or the girls to bring it.
Right.
I said, okay, then no problem. I know a lot of girls, so I would get them to do it.
I'm picturing you then there. You probably was really stylish, really hot, flashy, you know. Yeah?
Something like that.
The catwalk looking type of chick. Yeah?
So other girls wanted to wear stuff that was wearing at that time, getting their hair done, their nails done. And seeing somebody looking that way, well then, what is she doing? She's not working, and I don't know what she's doing, so I want to know. So I would get and convince them, well then, traffic, it's easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You're getting your place to stay. You're getting your spending money, and they will take care of everything. And I know them, so nothing will happen to you.
So that's your sales pitch, right?
Yes.
Right.
What kind of girls or women would you target? Would you look for?
My age group.
From a certain background or?
Yeah. I was 19 at that time. And I started to get girls that they wouldn't target. Light-skinned girls or dark-skinned girls with long hair or nerd-looking girls that they won't target. I won't get someone that they will target.
So that was the first three parts of Sherry's story. An interesting one. She's barely young to be involved in this business, but as she said, you know, she grew up without a father, with very strict parents, and she wanted to, you know, live the life. So she got involved in recruiting at a fairly early stage, and yeah.
You know anybody like that out there, folks? You listening this morning? If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are telling you it's vacation time. It's leading up to World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, Counter Trafficking Unit, and Ministry of Homeland Security have a lot of activities and stuff planned. But this is start of the journey here that we want you to familiarize yourself with. So when the bosses get here, you'll be ready to ask questions. All right, so that was Sherry's introduction. Now listen to Janice. Janice?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about Janice.
Yeah, she basically talks about her family history and how she got introduced to this line of work. Let's call it that.
I hope you paid attention to the first one, split parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see where it started, you saw what her thought process was.
Mm-hmm.
And for me personally, it takes a special type of person to sell people or get people to sometimes walk to their death. It takes, to me, that's special. I'm only people cannot drop a box of kittens by the road or drop a dog or a cat by the road and just drive off. I cannot do that. But there are people who will do that with their eyes closed.
Yep.
Let's go to Janice.
I was supposed to go to college, but my mother didn't have any money because she was paying the mortgage and bills. My father was not really there for me, so I wanted to get my own money and go my own schooling. I was supposed to go to a teacher's college in Kingston. My friend called me and asked me if I wanted to make some money, and I agreed with him because I knew him from a long time, right? He was going to school with me, and his girlfriend was doing drug trafficking all her life, and she said that she didn't get locked up anytime. I believed her, and I came. I don't even think about it for a week. It took me like 2 days to think about it, and I went. I was very excited because it was the first time I was traveling. Didn't even think about drugs carried. I just think about I'm going to travel to Trinidad. The first time in my life I'm on a plane. It was as someone over here, right? Link up with our Jamaican friends, and they carried the drugs. Come to my friend's house. Packed the suitcase. I did not see how the suitcase was packed. I had no knowledge of that. And they paid me. They didn't give me all of the money. Just a lot of the pocket money.
No, how much is pocket money?
8,000 TT. I didn't get it in my hand. And she bought me clothes, everything here, making me feel like a princess. So I felt good because I didn't have to spend any of my money. They bought my ticket, everything, and they told me that it's going to be okay. Nobody's not going to get catch over Trinidad. It's very easy. And I believe them because the girl wasn't there before and she spent 1 year over here, having no knowledge that she was in jail.
So they took you to their house the night before you traveled?
Yes.
And what were you thinking?
I remembered I know the persons, I know the girl, but I did not know the Trinidadian person. I was familiar with the girl because my boyfriend's friends, so I know where they live all the time. I know what they were dealing with, and I saw them with plenty of money every time. They have expensive furniture, so I wanted to be like them.
Live any life.
Just living the life, yes.
So you started partying and hanging with them too?
Yes.
And then they
I
popped
like
the
it.
question.
Yes.
Right. So they took you to their place. Did you see the process, or you just went there and picked up a suitcase?
Well, I didn't saw the suitcase packing, but I saw it when it was finished, packed. And I searched the suitcase, nothing. I couldn't find any drugs in the suitcase. None at all. We waked up early in the morning and carried the suitcase out the front without anyone know before I went out in the taxi. Because we didn't want anybody to know what we was doing, right? And after that, we waited because it was an 11 o'clock flight, so I have to wait. And I went out in the taxi. We chartered a taxi. We went to the airport with the girl and her husband and her child. The picture they was painting like it's a family thing. And I even friend the customs officer, telling him that I'm going to my boyfriend's house, a policeman. I told him that I was going to get married. The airport in Kingston, I got through very easily. They did not search my suitcase. They only searched me, and I was not really wearing enough clothing because I was wearing a tube top dress. They didn't search me anything. So I said, yes, it is so easy. I just got through easily. When I was at PIACO, I said, yes, it's the same thing. I went through the immigration very easy, and I was excited. I said, yes, I got some money right now. Having no knowledge about airports and anything, I thought that was it. I asked the person who I came with if that was it. He said, no, customs. I didn't know what was customs. I saw a line, the officer searching the suitcase. But before that, he waited about 2 hours before we went in the line. So I said, okay, that is the process. They're doing something to the suitcase, taking out the drugs or something. I didn't ask any questions. When we came upstairs, passed through the immigration, he said, that we were going to look in the stores before we go into the custom. We went into the custom line. I was in front, and the custom officer searched my suitcase and he took out my clothing. As he took out the first clothing, just started dropping out of the suitcase. It was folded in the suitcase, in the clothes. And remember, I searched the suitcase before I came to Trinidad. Nothing was in it. I thought it was like under the bottom or something. But they tricked me. They wrapped it in the clothes. So when the custom officer take up the clothes, they dropped out all of them. 21 packages.
How did you feel at that time?
Frightened. I wanted to pee myself.
You were sweating and...
Yes, I was very frightened. I wanted to run.
But you couldn't.
I could not. I didn't know the airport. Where would I run? I have to stay, and I did not point out the person. I just make him leave, because maybe that person would come and help me, right? I don't know the country, so I said, alright, I got all with the drugs. Maybe that person will come and help me out, but that didn't happen.
He just left?
Yes. Never to hear from him again.
What does that sound like to you folks? You know that old saying comes to mind? What?
Friends just take care, but they carry it, but they don't bring it.
We'll hear more about that if you're just joining us. You're listening to Dependency, and we are with Sherry and Janice this morning, trying to teach you a lesson out there. Those of you who have been thinking, and we hope that you are picking up points as we go along. This is just to save your family grief, folks. That's all. That phone call from Sherry to her mother, if you listen to it carefully, is exactly how it goes. We did those animation from real-time experiences. And it's sad that families will have to go through this, but at least you can have a chat with your relative. If you see them traveling regularly and you know, they're not working, but and a friend bought a ticket for them, that's a red flag right there. And for the authorities too as well. Now, with Janice, it sounds set up, kind of feels like that to me.
Yeah, because she was just kind of desperate for the money to finance her schooling. She had never traveled before. So her naivety and inexperience in that realm was also a plus for the traffickers. We could set her up to take the fall if that is to happen.
But who would put drugs in clothes, and where, you know, customs will just take out.
Exactly.
That makes no sense to me.
No.
How do you feel about that, folks? We go to a break. When we return, we'll continue with Janice and Sherry. These interviews were done at the Golden Grove Women's Prison. And we want to thank Prison Service for that once again, for cooperating with us to get these interviews done. So let's go to a break and listen to the first promo. That's a call Sherry had to make to her mother. And it's a real call. It happens a lot more than you know. Let's go to the break. We'll be back.
Hello. Hi, this is Patricia Kent from HMP London. Can I speak to Miss Sheila, please?
This is Miss Sheila.
Hi, I've got an important call for you. Please hold the line. Mommy, it's Sherry.
Oh God, Sherry, we looking for you all the time. 3 weeks now. Where you going?
Mommy, I'm calling to tell you I get locked up. I had drugs in my luggage and I'm in England right now. In jail.
Oh God, Sherry, what? What you do? How you reach there? Oh God, how we gonna go?
Oh God, Mommy, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It'll be alright. Sorry, sorry.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I 95.5 FM. Don't
Support the Eye on Dependency Curry Q fundraiser by Hot Shop. Just $55 gets you 1 wrap or 2 mini rotis. From 16th June to 30th July. Get your tickets today. Call or message 75666337 to enjoy a delicious Hot Shop roti and support your favorite radio program.
Hello, my name is Raquel, a trainee inmate at HMP Drake Hall, Staffordshire, England, and you're listening to Iron Dependency with Garth and Natasha. Please, people, don't traffic drugs. The money is all that nice. It's not worth it.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Iron Dependency, and we are sharing with you our series that we call Postcards from Yard. These are the stories of two Jamaican women who were caught in Trinidad trying to import illegal drugs into the country.
So let's go to Sherry once again. She starts this segment off with her experience. Let's hear Sherry.
We've heard many times that they have decoys on flights.
Yes.
How does that work?
I've never done that one before, because even though this is jeopardizing someone's life, I will not get someone else
to get caught.
Well, I will tell you, well, then you're going to bring this. Maybe I have someone working in the airport, and I pay that immigration or that custom officer. Two persons coming through. The right person is wearing whatever yellow. The other person that is supposed to be caught is wearing pink. Remember, the custom officer already get paid. So he's getting that person in trouble as well. He's getting himself in trouble and that person in trouble if the situation doesn't work out properly. So one person got through, the other person get locked up. That person have no knowledge that she or him is going to get caught.
It's like actually lamb to the slaughter.
Yes. One person got through, everything work out, customs get paid, everybody smile. Everything work out smooth. This is the second time I'm doing it. Myself. Yes, I got away the first time. I went somewhere and I got away the first time. Now this time, the season was running slow. We're running out of money now, so we can't get anybody. So I said, okay then, I will chance it. So this is where I end up chancing that. I got the suitcase, got it built and stuff. This time I did not tell my mother anything. I went down the night before, bring down my suitcase, packed some new clothes in it, went away, partying, came back the following day and said, Mommy, I am leaving. I said, where are you going? Well, I am tired of Jamaica now, I have to leave. I have to leave right now. I am sick and tired and disgusted. So I'm saying I am leaving because I need some new clothes. So, all right then, so you have money for shopping? Yeah, I have money to go shopping. I have money to do this. Which in that time I was lying. I only had money to bring me through customs. My suitcase, I did not bring it on the plane. I checked it in. The first time I traveled with my suitcase with drugs, I brought it on the plane.
That was a nice sign, you think?
Yes, when I reached Trinidad, I got through so easy through immigration because I was here before. So I got through. 6 months into my passport, when I reached the customs, I was waiting on my luggage. I waited there till I saw my suitcase at up. I went straight to customs. And this was another side. I did not finish signing up my form, my declaration form. So the officer sent me back, the custom officer sent me back to sign it up. And then the police officer sent me into a long line. I said, Jesus Christ, look on this line, I'm going to wait through now. So I was there waiting. I saw them searching others, taking off shoes, searching in the shoes. I wasn't fretting. I was there, I put my phone on silent and put it in my pocket. But before that, I called the person and said, well then, I've made it through immigration. I am now waiting for leave. I saw this police officer searching. I said, Jesus Christ, God, please, don't let me go to the officer, please. Because it looked like he must search real harsh. I saw this lady and she was searching and she wasn't really storing up the luggage. So I said, I want to go to that lady. So the officer that was searching harsh, I stepped off, leave. I was there waiting to go to the lady. As I stepped towards the lady, the officer came back and said, Come. This is the line that you have to go in. He searched my hand luggage. There was nothing in it. When he was opening my suitcase, I helped him because I knew where the drugs was. So I didn't want him to feel the weight of that. So I helped him open the suitcase. He did not feel it at that time. Searching. It was when he was closing the suitcase now. No, this side feel real heavy. He said, do you mind me searching? I said, well, that's your job. You can always search it. He started searching it. Do you have anything illegal? No. Well, I'm going to cut your suitcase open because I can understand, oh, this side is so heavy. I said, well, then you can go ahead and cut it open. Cut it open if you wish. Slit my bag open, my luggage open. When he opened it, what is this? What is this?
So they cut the bag right there?
Cut it right there in front of everyone. I had 2.5 kilograms. It was on the flap. It was inside the flap. That's the first time. I don't know why. That was the first time I've ever seen that inside a flap.
But that's when the guy built it?
Yes, inside the flap. So I was there thinking, well then, this is it. I wonder if this is a big joke or this is just a big prank. When he pulled the drugs out of my suitcase, the entire airport was stink. Everyone was looking at me. Well, the officer said to me, well, you said you don't have anything. Well, I said, I don't know about that. He said, take a seat on that bench. Please, little miss. I would like you to sit over there. I was there sitting on the bench, wondering if that was a dream.
Yeah. Well, as you heard, Cherry had done this before and got away with it. So she thought, why not take the chance to do it again? But the difference in this case is that she did not see how the drugs were packed. And, well...
And she's very naive to think that the person she's selecting to take this journey, she don't select persons to be decoys. You don't know. She don't know that. You're not at that level in the business.
Correct.
They will just tell you find a person.
Correct.
That's all. And
that was her role, and she fulfilled that.
That's
I
right.
suppose.
And the thing sad. Well, of course, it's always sad to hear where she said with a whole chest about paying off security personnel.
Yep.
That unfortunately is something that's part of the whole journey.
Correct.
And that's of course for law enforcement and ministries to deal with. But it's not nice listening or hearing that. It's not nice on the air.
No.
But the attitude, the worst thing you could do is give a customs officer attitude and feel you better than them and want to talk to them how you want. Well, now they're digging.
Open it if you wish.
Yeah. But again, she probably adopted that posture so that in case they find anything, she would, because she didn't hesitate. No, I want to come in suitcase. No, don't do that.
Yes,
She didn't protest. She said, go right ahead. Cool. So I guess that was probably part of her defense mechanism.
Yes.
So if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are taking you through the steps and the lead up to World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, the situation of drug and human trafficking, and teaching you the act, the means, and the purpose. Did you figure it out as yet? Natasha will educate you on it if you have not figured it out yet. But about the act, the means, and the purpose of human trafficking. So we go to a break.
No, before we have Janice to play still.
We have Janice. I'm so sorry, folks.
Yes.
Really excited.
Part 4, 5, and 6 of Janice's story. So she talks about where she was when she was detained, and she described some really horrible conditions, and also, debating whether or not to call her parents, what happens when she does in fact call her parents, and when she was sentenced.
All right, so let's go to Janice.
The custom officer. He asked me if I have any knowledge about the drugs. I told him the truth. Yes, I had it. I know that the drug was in it. And he said if I cooperate, I will get like 6 months. And I did, and I got 3 years. I told him everything about the school and every single thing. Everything, I tell them. They went to strip search me if I have any more drugs inside of me or in. But I did not have any. And they went carried me to the Pianco police station for questioning. They asked me, they said, do you have any drugs inside you? And I said, no. The lady said, you have to tell us because you can die from those drugs. And she counsel me and tell me what is the consequences of not telling them the truth. So I tell her, no, I don't have any. Then she carried me to the Piaco police station and questioned me about all the situation.
What were you thinking?
My mind was blank. I didn't think anything at that time because I couldn't believe it was true. I thought it was a dream. I don't even remember my mother's number at the time. I remember no one knew that I was out the country. I was supposed to spend 3 days, and I ended up to spend 3 years. I felt like a criminal. My father's a police, and I was so ashamed because they asked me my parents' profession, and when I said my father is a police, they were so surprised. They even wrote that in the paper, policeman daughter. And my fingerprint, I cried when I was taking my fingerprint. I was very sad. But that was a mark, like the mark of the beast, that fingerprint for a criminal record. That's when reality hit me.
You stayed there for 5 days?
Yes, sir.
What was that like?
For the 5 days, I just stayed once. And that is the day I was going to court, on the Monday.
So they just kept you in a cell for 5 days?
Yes,
daily?
yes, sir.
Did they feed you?
Yes, I did, but I didn't eat anything. I was not accustomed to the food here. So I saw the food and I cried. I got a KFC, and that KFC served me for the whole 5 days. I have to fight the chicken with the hands. I fight the stale chicken I eat for the whole 5 days. 2 pieces, I break off piece, I eat it with the bread, and hands taking it up and I fight the hands. I eat that chicken. It's first in my life ever did that.
So what about the other food that they brought? You didn't?
No, I didn't eat that. I tasted it and I didn't like it.
So what was the conditions of the cell that you were in?
The good thing is that I got a clean cell and I was the only person in the whole station locked up. So it was quiet. But I got some time for myself to really hit reality and know that I've been locked up, and I cried myself to sleep for the 5 days. Well, as a young person, you know, you're not going to really think about in a certain future. You're thinking about your boyfriend. You're thinking about the parties you're going to miss and all the lifestyle, what's going on. Especially when you're in the cell and you hear a party going outside. I feel so disappointed and I wanted to go home. I was not thinking about nothing else. I didn't think about my mother, my father, nothing.
You made no attempt to call anyone or let anybody know what had happened?
I wanted to, but I didn't. Part of me wanted to and part of me didn't, because I know if I call my mother, my father, they will cuss me very bad. They didn't have any idea, you know, so I don't know where to start. But I make up my mind, I did. First I called my mother. I said, Mom, I'm in Trinidad. She said, what? Yes, I said, yes, I'm in Trinidad. And you're not going to see me for plenty years. Because I have carried drugs in the country. And they locked me up. My mother said, yes, that's okay. Just call the father. And the phone was on speaker, you know. So the police here. I felt so ashamed, but I knew what was coming already. So I hung up the phone, I called my father. I said, Dad, I'm in Trinidad. And I carry drugs to the country, and I got plenty years. My father said, yes, that's what you wanted, so call your mother. So I didn't have anybody else to call.
How did you feel after that?
I feel very terrible. I feel like I was an unwanted child. I feel very rebellious. I wanted to mash up the place, mash up the whole station.
So none of them expressed shock?
No.
Sadness?
No.
Concern for you and your welfare?
Nope.
How you, if you eaten, how they treated you?
At that time, no. First, the day was late for me because it said 9 o'clock. And every time I see a police, I said, what is the time? They said 10, they said 11. I said, oh my gosh. I'm going to spend another day because I cross out the dates on the wall. And I wanted to come out because me alone and afraid of the dark. And me alone in that cell. So when the lady come, I hug her up through the bar. I don't know her now, I don't just hug her up. Say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm ready to go. Yes, I was glad to see her because I wanted to get this over with. And I bathed. That was the first time I bathed.
So they give you towel and...
No.
How close?
I had my face soap and I used my face soap bathe. Without rag and everything. And I used the clothes to dry. They took me to court. I went in another cell again. I said, oh my gosh, another cell. Wait. I made some friends, some guys.
You put in cell with guys?
No, different, but I could see them.
Okay, right.
And they was encouraging me. I saw Jamaican was encouraging me, praying for me. And I kind of get a little courage to go and talk to the judge. It was like telling me what to say. And I went, the magistrate. I forgot everything that he was saying. I don't remember nothing. I stand up stiff. I don't remember my name. Because I see the magistrate and I was frightened. And she spoke to me. And I told her everything. I told her that I wanted to go to school and Jamaica is financially is in a recession and no job. And I had to tell her that I have 5 subjects. I told her the whole truth. And that sinked me. Because I should not tell her none of those things. I should just tell her I have 5 children. And all of them at home suffering. She said, suppose everyone wanted money to go to school and carry drugs in our country, what would happen? I didn't have anything to answer to. She said, all right, I'm going to teach you a lesson. I'm going to give you 3 years, 9 months hard labor. And your same father who don't have any money is going to find that money and take you out. 185,000 TT. I didn't know how much money was that, so I wasn't surprised. But when I finished, the officer told me that it was 30,000 US. I said, 30,000 US for 4 pounds of marijuana? I got 6 months to pay the fine, and I went to IDC. And if I couldn't pay the fine in 6 months, I would spend my time 3 years, 9 months. So I chose to go to IDC. Because I said, okay, that is a way out. So I called my family again, and they checked out the money. It was 2.4 million Jamaican dollar. I did not know that. I was so shocked. I said, Mommy, sell your house. Sell everything. Please, just get me out.
What she said?
She said she cannot sell her house. Is that house alone the lady have? But I was not thinking about her. I said, sell everything, your house, tell daddy to sell his car, sell everything, please, get me out. I'm going to come back to Jamaica in a body bag. I can't take the prison. I was not at the prison as it, My mother is very strict, She knew that something was going to happen to me anyways. So, she said she's going to sort out something called the Jamaican consulates. And she did, and they came and looked for me. But the way I told the lady, she knew that I knew about the drugs. I did not tell my mother that I knew about the drugs. I told her that I didn't know anything. And the lady told my mother that I knew about it. She said, just come out clean and tell them that I knew about it and I'm this. I tell them everything about my life because I was hiding things from my life with them. So we got an open relationship in the jail. I didn't have an open relationship with my parents outside. I came to the Trinidad in the jail and learned about that relationship bond. I don't know anybody else. Yes, I wait 6 months at IDC and I have to come back here. It's very hard. It's nearly a year now I'm here.
So that was Janice. I mean, not the nicest experience, neither at the police station nor in the prison. But she's very demanding of her parents now. Demanding that they sell the house and car to get her out. I think she knew deep down that wasn't going to happen, though.
This whole journey put the fear of God in her now. She started to see, she just want, but unfortunately, and I was hoping that you do listening and watching, and by the way, if you're getting problems with the Facebook feed, just remember you can just hop over to YouTube. All right, Iron Dependency on YouTube. But I wonder if those of you who with us are picturing your child in that position, what she is describing, what Janice is describing for you, or what she just described. Picture that, your child in a dark cell by him or herself and at the mercy now of the system.
Yep.
There's nothing, as I told her mother who called us, there is absolutely nothing can be done once that line is crossed. If they get caught in the UK or the US or Canada, our representatives out there cannot do anything. Keep that in mind. All they can do is help with supplying you with, if you contact them, right.
Supplies and or toiletries or whatever it is, they will advocate for you while you're in the facility, but help you to contact your family at home, that kind of thing. But other than that,
that's what our foreign missions are for. But they don't get involved in the legal aspect of your stay.
Correct.
And you just have to enjoy that on your own. So think about it, and
it's also instructive how she said she developed a relationship with her mother while she was in prison. Now, if that relationship was strong before, she would have probably tried to talk with her mother about the issues she was experiencing before she even was offered to do this.
So, what we learn about here now is communication.
Yes.
And trusting. But then again, from her parents' response, you would see they probably not people to, or maybe the parents were just fed up of what she was doing. Parents see things. Their parents know, they understand, and they will talk to you. And if you insist on doing it your way, then so be it. As Mr. James told his son, well, all right then, don't drop the soap, cheerio. People found that was harsh, but that's how some fathers deal with it. Mothers are more caring and they cry more, but the fathers, it is what it is. But when she talked about that's when it hits home, and she said she getting plenty years. That made me laugh, because she wasn't sure yet, but she knew that, hey, I got caught and I'm going to get. But to tell your parents, sell their home, sell the car, sell everything, not going to happen.
No. I think she knew that deep down it wasn't going to happen, but I think it was just her expression of how desperate she was in the situation that she found herself. It's like, how else am I going to get out of here? Somebody needs to help me. But
sorry, it's like a swallowing a pill.
Yeah.
Unless you try to vomit it up, it has to go through the entire process. Eating edible, same thing. Well, once law enforcement catches you, that's it.
Yes.
Then you're now at the mercy of the state. And again, every jurisdiction have their laws, and you just have to hope that they find mercy with you.
Yep.
So, but just remember, if you leave here with drugs to go to the US, Canada, United Kingdom, anywhere in the Caribbean, you are part of the problem in another country.
Yes.
Yeah, but think about it like that. You carrying drugs to another country to get their children hooked on it and their citizens hooked on it. Some will end up committing crime. And so you are actually contributing to another country's crime problem.
Yeah. I think perhaps the severity of it is lessened because it was marijuana that both of these women were trying to import. I think that in their minds was, just a pound of weed or just a key a lead of weed. So that may have lessened the gravity of the situation in their minds because she sounded shocked that she got 3 years for this crime, this offense.
But it hits home when it hits home. You can't do anything about it.
Correct.
All right? So once they put those handcuffs on you,
that's it.
That's it. We own you. They own you. Remember that.
Yep.
So if you have a relative traveling, busy packing tonight to travel, red-eye flight, or they're heading out to somewhere, all of a sudden, maybe you may want to sit and ask them, just to be sure. It may be nothing untoward, but just to be sure.
Yes, and it's also a good time to remind people do not carry things for people when you're traveling. I know that we have a habit of doing this, but we've shared many stories about this on Our Dependency. If somebody give you a package to carry for somebody, if you're going US or Canada or England, please, either you bust it open and see what is in it, or you inquire from them, and if they're not telling, if they're not satisfied with the answer, then do not put that in your suitcase, please.
Because it's yours. Once it's in the suitcase, it's yours.
Correct.
Whether you feel knowledge or you admit it is yours. All right, so let's go to a break. Remember, listen to this promo again, as you do all the others, but listen to this one. This is Sherry. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are starting the journey to World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, and you're hearing this morning from Sherry and Janice. They were caught at the Accra airport with trying to bring drugs into this country, to bring marijuana into this country, and of course, the good officers there did their due diligence, and they ended up in prison here at the Golden Government Prison, where the interview was conducted. Let's go to a break. We'll be back.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Dobson here from HMP London. Can I speak to Mr. James, please?
This is Mr. James speaking.
Thank you. Can you hold the line? I have a call coming through to you, sir.
Sure.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, yes, Brian?
Daddy, I'm just calling to tell you that look up in the UK for drug trafficking.
Oh, yeah? You lock up? And you tell me I was going to Bago? And I tell you about them boy I was liming with? Well, all right. Don't drop the soap. Cheerio.
Eye on Dependency. Reality radio at its best every Sunday on I-95.5 FM.
Support the Eye on Dependency Curry Q fundraiser by Hot Shop. Just $55 gets you 1 wrap or 2 mini rotis. From 16th June to 30th July. Get your tickets today. Call or message 75663337 to enjoy a delicious Hot Shop roti and support your favorite radio program.
Organised crime is fueling the global drug trade, devastating lives and communities. This illicit industry is deeply intertwined with human trafficking, illegal mining, and environmental destruction, creating a vicious cycle that traps entire populations in poverty, violence, and fear. But we can break that cycle. Together, we can protect lives, restore communities, and build a safer future. To do that, we must stop organised crime at its roots. That means tackling record cocaine production that's driving violence, with markets expanding worldwide, confronting the surge in methamphetamine production and trafficking in Southeast Asia's Golden Triangle, and addressing the deadly rise in opioid overdoses that are overwhelming already fragile health systems. This World Drug Day, we stand for innovation, cooperation, and sustained investment in justice, education, health, and opportunity. Together, we can break the cycle and stop organised crime.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we are playing our Postcards from Yard interviews with Janice and Sherry. And now we're winding down. These are the last 3 clips from each of these young women who will basically summarize their whole experience and offer some advice to young people like themselves who are considering using this method to make money.
Yeah, it's just remember, like as I indicated earlier, if you know someone or a relative traveling within the next couple of days. And anything was nagging you, anything like that. It's not that they can change their mind at this last stage, but at least you either prepare for a good or bad phone call.
Yep.
Phone call, good news or bad news. Prepare for that. But at least you'll know. All right, so the choice is yours. Let's go to Sherry now.
Yes, Sherry's final parting thoughts.
The day when they brought me in to take my fingerprints, that was the day I realized that I am going to prison, because I still had to call my parents because I couldn't remember anyone's number. I went to court and the judge put it off until a later date. After I came here, I went back to court again on the 27th of February. The judge said, "What do you plead?" I said, "Guilty with explanation, Your Honor." I was there trying to get myself out of it. Talking. The judge said, "Well then, you're such an intelligent person. What have you gotten yourself into? I can't do anything but this for you. 3 years, 6 months. And if you can't pay that in time, I will give you 6 more months on that, which would be 4 years or $207,000. Fine." Everybody was in the court. I was so traumatized and shocked. I didn't even knew what the judge said. Then she said, "You know what? I'm going to take it down to $204,000 TT dollars. And because you're such a nice young lady, I'll be sending you to IDC for a month." I did not ask to go to IDC. She sent me to IDC for a month to get into contact with your family. I was at IDC, and I still couldn't remember my parents' number or any family member. The only person number I could remember was my boyfriend, uncle. I called him and tell him, "Well then, I'm in big trouble. I'm in Trinidad right now and locked up." He said, "I've been calling you. Everybody's been calling you since the day you left." So, "Well then, I'm in big trouble. Tell my boyfriend." My boyfriend called and said, "Well then, they did not tell me. I came home and hear them discussing it among themselves." He said, "Well, I called your sister and tell your sister, but I did not tell your mother because I don't want your mother to get sick or anything. So I told your sister not to tell your mother as yet until I get the okay from you." I said, "Well then, don't tell my mother, please, because my mother is so strict up until this day. Please don't tell my mother." When I was at IDC, I found the strength. My fellow inmates right here gave me the strength to call my mother. I thought my mother would cuss and get her, but she did not. She said, "Well then, I am not mad at you. Everything happens for a reason, and I am very sorry that this has happened." And I was there crying. The following phone call, I called my father's side of family, which I grew up with. And when I called, I was speaking to my auntie, and she was saying, "Well then, we're going to try something for you. We might not have it, but we will try." I spoke to my grandfather. My grandfather said, "What did you get locked up for?" I said, "I got locked up for drugs." He said, "What kind of drugs?" I said, "Marijuana." "We will see what we can do for you. How much is your fine?" $2.7 million. I started to call my parents regularly. "Lady, if you don't find this money, I will be coming down in a body bag in the bottom of a plane. That is what I will be coming down in if you don't find this money, because I cannot go to prison. I was not made for a prison and I cannot go there. Please, lady, please get the money. I need to come home now." Yes, that's what I told my mother. My mother was crying, and I said, "I'm going to kill myself. If you don't get this money, I will die and you have to spend that money some other way and bury me." My mother started to cry and said, "You're going to let me catch a heart attack and die." Well, I said, "You need to find the money then. If you don't find the money, this is it." When I came inside there, I felt as if I wanted to die instant. When I reached right here, it wasn't the condition of the place, it was just being traumatized from going to prison. Everybody was there watching, and I fell on the floor and I started to create a scene. While they was trying to put me inside the truck, I was putting my foot up and said, please don't put me in there. I'm going to die in the prison. When I came, my face was swollen from all the crying that I did. I didn't even cry, I was bawling. I was there days upon days, crying, praying, crying. I didn't want anything to eat. I started crying and I said, oh God, this is my time to go back to school, because I was supposed to do airlines and customer service this September. Well, my family said they were going to pay the money at that time. But then I wrote them a letter and tell them that is too much of money. I just take it into consideration. My fine can always be paid. I could do some of my time and you could pay the rest or something. While I was here, I started to get comfort and advice from rest of inmates. Well, then you just have to be strong, and they would encourage me. It's not as bad as you think it is. I've been here since April. As it is here, you have rules and regulations that you have to follow, and you have to obey instructions. I am not a type of person who likes to take instruction. I don't take instruction very well. First, I was very quiet and stuff, and then you would have people that would pick on you when you're very quiet. So I showed that person a different side, and from then, I went downhill. It's really hard being here, worse when you're far away from your home and from your loved ones, and you receive 2 phone calls per month. And talking to them for that 15 minutes, you have to cherish that time that you get to talk to them, because you will not be hearing from them until the following month. And my mother and I don't really have a close bond with my mother. My father is dead, and each time I'm in problem, I cry for my father, and my father is in the grave. And my mother is right there to comfort me, but I don't know. Since I'm at IDC, I went to IDC, my mother and I and my sister have gotten so close. And my mom would call and I would tell her, well then this is it. I've met a lot of people here who encourage me to be a better person or encourage me to just be strong. And you have officers here, at times you may feel like you don't like them, but they're just doing their jobs. You have some here that will encourage you. And being here with my fellow inmates, it might be hard, but we're always trying to help out with each other and always have each other back. I am here, and I am not just doing this time because I've got prison sentence. I am doing it right now with different feedbacks. I'm going back to school, getting my life on track. I'm trying to get my life back on track, even though I'm here. I'm doing that course. I'm not only doing it for me, but I'm doing it to become a better person so I could have a career when I leave here. I don't want to go back to that life. And I'm not just saying that because I've gotten caught or anything, but when I was out there, I didn't really have time to think. I am always on the go, always have something to do. And I would have been going back to college this September, as I said, to do airlines and customer service. Because my mother tried so many times to send me back to school. And I said, well then, I spent so many years at school. I don't have no time for that right now. I am busy doing what I want to do. And I will encourage each and every, not only my age, but everyone, every woman at that, to be strong. And when it comes down to that, think before you act. Don't just act off of that, because every action comes with a reaction and a consequence. And this is what is my outcome. I made a bad choice, and this is what I am facing now.
Yep, that's again like Sherry's, like Janice said, Sherry has developed a closer relationship now with her mother, the same mother which couldn't stand because she was too strict and didn't want to let her live her life, right?
Fortunately for her, the mother's still alive so that she can.
Yes.
You know, but welcome to Our Dependency, where every life is a biography. If you're just joining us, you just heard Sherry's, and we hope that you again would be forewarned and listen to everything she had to say. And the out of evil cometh good. Now, the same, as you said, the same mother who she did not find favor with, now they got closer. And sometimes it takes.
That's what it takes in order for parents and children to develop that bond, right? adversity.
So it had to be like this. But I just love her tenacity and her bold-facedness. she just bold-faced.
Yes.
This Cherry, and the thing about it is,
No.
it was a sort of karma facing her, because remember she sent people to that.
Yes.
So now it was her turn to experience it, and she see what it's like to be trafficked. And
full circle.
Yeah, full circle. And I could imagine the performance of the court to get to the van. She just could not believe that she was now someone's property or the property of of
But
law
the only
enforcement.
thing I'm concerned about, she spent her time in prison wisely and was getting her education and so. But remember what we discussed last week. That record is going to follow her. I don't know what the process is in Jamaica to clean your record, but it's going to be very difficult for her now to get a job with a conviction.
All right, let me shed some light on that. I just as remember we've interviewed a lot of women from Trinidad who were caught in the UK, but the crime don't follow them into the country. Because they were arrested and charged in another jurisdiction.
Yes.
So it wouldn't apply home or in Jamaica.
Okay.
Because remember on the form now, especially when you're applying for visas, they normally would have asked
if you have
if you were anywhere. And even job application forms now have the same thing. You're applying for a job here. On the form now, it's included in the lineup of have you ever been arrested and charged for any crime in or out of the jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So you have to say, so in that regard, it will follow you.
Yeah.
Now, it is up to the, to be an employer to overlook that. Well, you didn't commit that crime here. You did it in another country. But they will still know. It still follows you.
Because you have to explain that
Right.
period of time that where you were incarcerated.
Because remember, you'll chronologically include in your resume what you did, and so what happened in 2020, what happened in 2024, what you did. Well, I took a year rest or 2 years rest. You'll have to, no point in line, they will find out.
Yeah.
And we demonstrated what Google can do here last week for you.
Correct.
So let's go to Janice now.
Yes, Janice's parting words, how she took the sentence, how her parents reacted, and her advice to young people.
All we ask you to do is listen and think.
IDC was more opened because it's not really a prison, right? You can get anything at IDC, as in face product, anything you want. You can wear your clothes sometime. In the dorm, they give you a uniform, but you can wear falsy or everything. You can watch TV anytime you want. Ice, cold juice, tea. Anytime you want, they get tea. But not here, not in prison. You get earring anytime you want. It was different, it was more opened.
Simplified, easy to hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how difficult then was when you made the transition to women's prison? How was that?
Well, after a time at IDC, I wanted to come to the prison because my family told me that they didn't have any money. I wrote a letter to come to the prison to start my time, but they said it have to go through the normal process. You have to wait the whole 6 months and then come to the prison. When the day for me to go to the prison, I was so happy. Yes, I'm going to start my time. The sooner I start my time, the sooner I go home. I went come to the prison and everything changed from that. It is more strict because the rules and regulations are well kept.
It's a prison.
It's a job, they're doing that.
Yes, I don't have any problem with it, but I am not used to it.
It's an adjustment you'll have to make now.
I would not want anybody to come to prison. Well, this jail time has taught me a lot.
What did it teach you?
It teach me that you have to think about to do certain actions. You have to think. And when you're in the free world, right, you don't have enough time to think about you getting locked up or any negative. You think about just positive. Like the world is just about positive things. But when you're in the prison now, you think about both negative and positive. when I go back out, I don't want to come in the prison. If I step on somebody's toe and they start to quarrel, I'll just say sorry. I won't in any argument because that can lead to something that I come back in the prison and I don't want to. Plus, it draws me nearer to the Lord. And that's a plus.
Now, when you were outside?
No, I didn't know.
No religion, no church?
No. The first time I came to the prison, they asked me what was my religion. I said I don't have any religion.
What about prison has made you spiritual in that sense?
If you don't have God in prison, I'm sorry for you. The devil is like a roaring lion. You have much demon in the prison. You just bury your body and start making do some things that the officers will be the officers, they will like to target you because you're giving trouble. But if you're humble now, if you're humble and stay by yourself and do what the officer tell you, the officer don't even know your name. But if you're a troublemaker, the officer know your name by last the front, and every time you do something, they call your name. So God help you to do that. The Bible.
When your time is up, you going back to Jamaica?
IDC first, and then after that, we're going to Jamaica.
How you think you're going to fare when you get back to Jamaica? Because you will be, what, 23, 24 then? 23.
First, I'm going to be very frightened to go back outside. I want to go back outside, but the fear is going to be in me that the structures of Jamaica will be changed and modernized. I don't know what to expect when I go back to Jamaica. But I have to just pray on it.
Are you in touch with your parents?
Yes, they call me every month. My father don't call me as it, but my mother.
So you all have made peace with each other?
Yes.
So she's willing to welcome you back home?
Yes. I'm her child, so she's going to have that bond, even though she was upset. I know that in life right now, people are financially unstable, but you have to just think about you go on to things, because it's not easy when you're in prison. You have to just look another way, because there are two ways of everything. Think, make the right decision, because the wrong decision will lead to imprisonment or death. Right? And I have made the road, and I would not like anyone, not even Jamaicans alone, anybody, especially a woman, I would not like them to come to prison and leave their child out there or their family members. Out there is not easy. Like your life is just blocked off. And like you're dead. In the phase of death, like you're in a coma. Sometimes people don't care about you anymore. But you have to just lift your head high and care about yourself.
So there you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. Another lesson in what not to do. And another lesson in being vigilant. We thank you those on Marlene. We apologize. I meant earlier to let you know IDC was she was referring to the Immigration
Detention Center.
Detention Center. Right. So, but thank you for asking. How do you feel about what you heard? Some parents really try with their children. Some parents, they don't know, and they don't share, they don't have that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So
the parents could be also either very interested in their child's, progress and development, or completely unawares.
Yeah.
And it's only when the child gets into trouble that you realize, I may have, made some missteps along the way. I may have failed to communicate. I may have failed to do X, Y, or Z. And as in both of these cases, this is at the point at which parents understand what their child is really going through.
I hope young people are listening. Hi, Zina. I hope in Trinidad you could tell me how many curriculum tickets you need, all right? Those of you who are listening, please, don't keep this to yourself. Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody.
Yep, correct.
And just as all the other substances or activity that draws people to it, or them, you must do your own prevention and be vigilant. That relationship, and I'm sure you know someone traveling tomorrow or tonight. You have, like I said, just have a sit down with them. Are you sure? Are you 150% sure? Where did you get it? And not only that, law enforcement as well. Post 9/11, a lot of things have changed with booking tickets for travel.
Yes.
Know that. They know how often you travel. They know, and sometimes they let you run till they stand on the rope. Or they can nab you. But buying a ticket to go to the UK or even the US last week or Monday to travel Tuesday or Wednesday, that's a red flag. So pay attention.
Correct.
Now let's go to Daniel. Daniel has some advice for youngsters for this vacation period. Remember Daniel? Well, he posted something on TikTok, and we felt that it was something that we could share here too as well. And his advice to young men, what not to do and what to do for this vacation time.
Yep.
So let's go to Daniel.
Young people, good night again. Y'all, as the July-August vacation is approaching, I beg and urging all the young men out here in society who still going to school and stuff, y'all, hear what I'm telling all you, I begging all you. Find all yourself in a program this July-August vacation. Find all yourself in a youth camp, a youth club, a Bible club, something, right? Because since I have been out here, y'all, the July-August vacation is where a lot of young men, especially those that going to school, get arrested and placed before the court and end up in YTC by September. Excuse. They don't ever get to go back to school. Why? Because they use their time on vacation to get themselves in the wrong category of friends then. So I'm urging all the young fellas, listen, young people, young boys, young men, right? Listen, do not follow your friends. If your friends and them carrying you down a road to do wrong, they are not your friends. I urge you all to find something constructive to do with your time this July-August vacation, because the devil is busy, right? I don't want to hear all your parents messaging me and telling me, oh, the son lock up and how I could have. I don't want to hear them stories, y'all. I want you all to stay out. I want you all to do the right thing. I want you all to use all your July-August vacation to the best of all your ability. Join a sport club, join a youth club, join something and do something with your time this July-August vacation. Don't waste your time and don't get locked up. Stay out of YTC. Remember, I'm watching.
All right. So, advice, all advice, once it's a lead in a positive direction, it doesn't matter who it's coming from. But think about what he said carefully, because a lot of you, I'm sorry to say, a lot of you on a journey right now, boy. We're witnessing it and we're getting the information. And you see your mother, I want to reach out to you all again, some of you young men out there, and young women too in some cases. See cursing your mother and battling with your mother for money or to buy drugs or to gamble. There's a price to pay for that. So enjoy yourself now, but remember, there's a price for disrespecting your mother and father. Always a price for it. And just
Equally,
like Sherry.
No, so go ahead. No, I was just going to say, equally, there's a price for disrespecting your children. Huh?
Yes.
Your children also deserve respect.
Yes, like that mother who I saw in Kokori there, put 3 children over the railing and run below the railing with them. And what are you all doing, boy? What? I am not perfect, I'm not better than anybody, but if it is I prefer to use a walkover rather than run under it, then I better than you. Right? If I prefer not to discriminate and sell or traffic people, and you want to do that, then we better than you. But we're not better than anybody. All we asking to do is just do the right thing. There's bartenders out there as well. And people who deal in alcohol, think about the ones who's destroying it. That's all. We're not demanding anything. We cannot make any demands on anybody, but think about them. And, you know, we're having all type of debates about this raising the age for alcohol, but this cannot be accomplished unless everyone get on board. And I'm talking everyone here, calling all cars. This is what we need to make this work, so that the club owner do his part, the bar owner do his part, the taxi driver do his part, the adult in the home do their part, and this is how we could save the brains and the minds of some of our future.
I am not optimistic that we will get all the adults in Trinidad and Tobago on board with this, because the pushback is coming from them, you know.
Yeah.
These are the same people. These are the same people who will say, you know, look at how you're behaving, the children looking on, this, that, and the next. Lock up the parents, this, that.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't want to implement this measure to protect young people and children in this country.
That's the irony. The adults complaining about it.
Only in Trinidad, you know.
When we should be protecting the children and looking out for them, so that, like I said, it's vacation time. Children are spending weekend by other parents, or some parents are not as strict as your parent, or you as a parent might be.
You're leaving them home to mind the younger ones
All
by
of that.
themselves. All kinds of ways in which adults and parents and guardians put children at risk. And then we want to blame the children when they act out.
Yes, it's weird. And so the club owner now, you must have security outside. One security to card people alone. Protect yourself, because D-Day...
No, people have a problem carrying an ID card now.
Yeah, you know, but D-Day, someone that could back up, find you admitting minors to the club, because let's face it, we have drugs circulating in these clubs too. Fine, no problem. Who can handle it? But there are those who will fall victim to it and not recover from it. What about them? What about the youngster who we supposed to be looking out for? This is what we're talking about. So ask for ID card. If a young man comes to buy, Natasha, there was a young man in a school told me, if we go in primary school, he said he would go and buy a nipper puncheon, and the bartender would sell him it, buying it for his uncle. So people sending children to buy alcohol too, that's another thing.
Yeah, but the bar owner is wrong.
Of course.
Why? Yeah, he could say anything. He's going to buy it for his uncle. Who cares? I am not. You see, that is the thing. The bar owner is not at risk for selling it to him. What should be in place is that there is a consequence for that action. There's currently no consequence.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The consequence that, so, like I gave the example of Natasha and I, this was in the UK. We went to eat at a sports bar, and it was around graduation time, and some youngsters walking there, about 5 of them, male and female, well dressed, going to their prom, and as they call it, and the owner came outside and asked them, hey, let's see them.
The IDs.
You know, young lady said, I'll be 18 next week. He said, I'll come back next week. Simple as that, because he knows that if the police in there and see him do that, he's going to lose his license.
Correct.
This is what we have to do. If we don't intend to take it that far, well then we live in broken
Leave it so. And also the issue of any day, any time.
Thank you. Any day, any time.
People can sell alcohol any day, any time. There's a reason why there are restrictions on how and when you can sell alcohol. It is a drug.
Now, the same adults who chiding the authorities for thinking about this, let the law pass where no alcohol after midnight during the week will be sold. None. You are caught selling alcohol after midnight during the week, you lose your license or you get it suspended.
Correct.
On a weekend, 2 o'clock.
Correct.
How many of you in Trinidad and Tobago will support the government to that? Answer now, don't rush. Tell me, how many of you will support a measure like that? And you're all serious, right? We're serious about protecting our children and driving safe on the road. And how many of you out there will support alcohol sales being stopped during the week at 12 or even 11 during the week, and on weekends we go up to 2?
Yeah.
So you give people time to sober up before they drive home.
Yep.
What about that? Would you all support that? Because that's implemented in other jurisdictions decades now.
Correct.
So the same adults who questioning the age and raising the age and all of that, you will protest. No, you can't walk the road, and suppose you reach to the point where you cannot walk the road with a beer in your hand any longer. You think you all could deal with that?
I don't think so,
I mean, let's be real. Do you all think that we could deal with a law that says, no, you cannot walk the road and drink? Normally.
Or have an open bottle in your
in
vehicle.
your car. How many of you will support that? So we're still lucky. But at least what we can do, let us try and do.
Lucky?
We could take some calls.
It's freeness.
Yes.
Anything goes.
That no government ever reached to that level yet with us.
Yeah.
You know, and saying, well, all right.
Yeah,
no, any day, anytime, any longer.
Do whatever you want. I think the population is not connecting the dots. There are consequences to this kind of laissez-faire attitude, and we are reaping the rewards of it right now.
Tobago, how you feeling?
Just
give them the acne means and the
yes. To go back to our substantive topic here, and again, as we lead up to the World Day Against Trafficking in Persons on the 30th of July. The crime of human trafficking consists of 3 core elements: the act, the means, and the purpose. Physical and sexual abuse, blackmail, emotional manipulation, and the removal of official documents are used by traffickers to control their victims. Exploitation can take place in a victim's home country, during migration, or in a foreign country. So the act refers to the trafficker must do one of the following to people: recruit them, transport them, transfer them from one place to another, harbor them in a location, or receive them. So the act, which we heard Sherry describe, she was one of the recruiters. So she recruited people to transport drugs from point A to point B. She's in essence trafficking them. So the act refers to recruiting, transporting, transferring, harboring, receiving. The means would be how do they so the trafficker commits one of these acts to persons using one of these methods, which are the means. So they use either threat or use of force, they use coercion, they use fraud, they use deception, they use abuse of a position of vulnerability, they are giving payments or benefits, as is evident in the whole drug trafficking scheme. You're promised a certain amount of money if you can transport the drugs from point A to point B without getting caught. Because of course if you get caught, you're not seeing that money. And the other means is abduction. So they'll physically remove you from one place to another if you do not do what you are being told to do. So they threaten you, coerce you, fraudulently deceive you, abuse you, and offer you a payment or a benefit and abduct you. And the purpose, of course, is for exploitation. And there are many means of exploitation. In this case, with Shari and Janice, the exploitation is to transport drugs. But in essence, both of these women were trafficked themselves. And that is the link between drug and human trafficking. I hope that's clear. And of course, you can visit the Facebook page of the Counter Trafficking Unit to get more information about trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago and the efforts that this organization, this agency, is making to counteract it. So we will open up the lines now, 622-3937. Did you have anything to share with us on what you heard today from Shari and Janice? Interesting story. Had you heard it before? Do you think that young people are more or less at risk now for these kinds of acts of or these kinds of crimes are vulnerable to being selected to do these things. We know it's still happening today, of course, but do you think the current environment in Trinidad and Tobago makes young people more vulnerable? These are young women, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, just open the lines so you can
Good morning.
speak with us this morning. Sorry about that. 622-3937.
Hello. Hello.
And
It's a very
turn off
good
your radio
program.
first, please.
Hello, are you hearing me? Hello.
Yes, we are
we're
hearing
hearing you, but you need to turn down your volume.
But the volume is down.
Okay.
My reading, nothing is on.
All right, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so please allow me to get an opportunity. Now, this law which this government would want to pass now, I think I would never subscribe to that. You know why? I want to tell you my big reason is this. It's going to affect quite a lot of people because you cannot change horses in midstream. Too many of the young people are used to all this. And as a matter of fact, the government that particular government had people in connection with the marijuana thing and they can grow it. Are you hearing me? Ma'am? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are hearing
Yeah,
you.
so I know a lot of innocent people going to be punished on account of this because they cannot change now.
What do you
I
mean
would
punished?
say-
When you say innocent people, what do you mean?
I mean, people who would, innocent people who would continue drinking, having the drugs and the marijuana and everything. They allow people to plant marijuana in the places and everything. That has gone too far.
But I'm
So
not
when
understanding
people look
how
to-
does raising the age limit affect those persons?
The limit what I'm talking about is this. If they want to have this overnight for the particular age, 25 years, ma'am, people are soaked in this thing already. Okay, what are you going to do? All those people who have been voting in the past for a particular time, squash it? Because it might be that you cannot vote until you're 25.
No, but sir, I understand where you're coming from. I understand because we have to also look at the addictive part of these drugs already that are consumed by teenagers.
Yes.
And they are accustomed to now. So now they will have some issues. Now they will have to hide and drink.
Absolutely, which is
This
why
is the whole thing I'm looking at.
So
Which is
so
why
yes,
we-
there's another side to it. You're correct.
This is what I'm saying now. Innocent people who have been accustomed to all these sort of things now for them to look to stop it, I know it's going to be very difficult. And I figure is those young people they're going to be arresting and charging and doing, they're going to have it very hard. And I'm concerned about the young people. So I figure that the government should say within the next 5 years, we want it to be like that. Give them time to get off of this sort of thing because everybody planting marijuana trees all about growing marijuana, selling marijuana, smoking marijuana, and the government subscribe to that. They allow that. If this government really mean what they're saying, why did not this particular government did not bring this thing 15 years ago? Kamala and they were in power all that time.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. We get your point. And this is why Garth has said.
Thank you.
This is why Garth has said in his media interviews that changing the law is not enough. It has to be accompanied by robust prevention and treatment. You cannot leave people to be uneducated about what they're consuming, and you cannot leave them to be untreated if they have a disease, the disease of addiction. It has to go hand in hand. You cannot change laws and put no regulation in place or no policy in place to support it. And this is exactly what we said as well with the change in the law when it comes to cannabis. There was none of the prevention or treatment aspect of the legislation involved, which is why we're in the position that we are in today.
And they did not listen to the people who would have showed them the other side of the coin, like this caller just did. But, sir, and for future callers, please, she's the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago now. All right, so just as we give other prime ministers their handle, you not be calling people by their first name. Kamala. That is not going to happen here. All right, so let's bear that in mind. Lady the Prime Minister, please address us that as we did for all other Prime Ministers. Coming back to this issue here, I agree.
Hello. Good afternoon,
I agree there's, just hold on, Larry. I agree that there's certain things that need to be done to look on both sides of the fence. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Now, please, we had a substantive topic here, which was with Sherry and Janice. And please, those of you who still want to make a contribution with that program, that what we just played here, the interviews, if you learned anything, Natasha shared the act, the means, and the purpose of human trafficking with you. These are some of the things that we want you to pay attention to, all right? Good morning.
Hi, morning. Good morning. And good morning to your guests there. I heard you all mention something about human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, right now in this country, there's a large amount of that happening, especially with our recent migrants.
A large amount of what, sorry?
A large amount of human trafficking, or what some of the criteria for human trafficking taking place here.
Yes.
Right? And everybody knows and nobody does anything. Recently, I called...
What do you mean? Just now, let me stop you. I don't want to leave that hanging. When I say everybody knows and nobody, what do you mean?
Because we all know what is going on with our Venezuelan migrants, at least some of them. We all know what is happening.
Well, I'm glad you raised that.
Working in certain clubs, doing certain things.
All right. Now, let me say this to you. We have, I don't know if you are aware, but we have a counter-trafficking unit of Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Just spoke about that.
Right. And the counter-trafficking unit, if you've been following, and maybe it's our fault too, we should continue to highlight more of the work that they've been doing. But the counter-trafficking unit is taking care of that up to last week. So it's not something you can just run in a club and snatch people. There's a lot of work preparing.
Yeah, but the thing is that they snatch the people who are the victims and they don't arrest the people who are the perpetrators.
Well, we don't know that.
Right?
Again,
I
maybe...
even made a report about a certain area and a club of what it is I knew was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Nothing happened?
Nothing happened.
Okay.
They closed the doors for 2 weeks. And after that, business as usual.
You use the counter-trafficking unit hotline to do that, to make that report?
No, I use the police.
No, you should use the counter-trafficking unit. Talk to them.
Wait. So, no, we have a real problem here.
No, that's their purview. You know, the police...
But you're telling me if it is the police gets a report of something happening, they cannot pass it on to the proper authorities or the department that needs to be dealing with it?
Yeah, they should.
They should.
But they didn't. So, but you have the real source is 800 for CTU. Correct. If you know there are certain things going on that are very suspicious, call them. That's their job. The police have so many calls coming into them, like they may even forget that you call them. So
yes, that was an oversight based on
something like that.
The police that you interacted with. But now that you have the information about the CTU, 800 for CTU, call and make a report there as well. Because if the activity is still going on, then it's still a problem.
And the police didn't pass on the information you gave to them.
So here's your opportunity now to follow up.
You see why I say we disclose a blind eye?
Yeah.
Because now there's another problem you all just highlighted, you know. That's a negligence by the police department that you all are highlighting here now. That
Well,
they
you
refuse to
highlighted,
pass it
so
on.
yeah. No, but you're right. You're right.
And this country is kind of crazy with these things, that we do not complain about the things that are real problems. Recently, we asking for IDs to work with. And they said, let's get a DNA of everybody. I will support that 100%. But not even in the so-called dictatorship that they like to say that Venezuela is, are you needed to work with ID? Do you know, in America, it's illegal for a police officer to ask you for an ID unless you are suspect of committing a crime?
Yeah, and that's in their constitution. Right. That's in their.
But I would think that in general, if you are driving a vehicle, you have to have your license on you. That is a form of ID. Okay. So that takes.
Full brakes right there. Not everybody rides. Not everybody have a car.
I understand that. Understood.
So what happened to the others?
Yes, sir.
What happened to the others? You can't just highlight a certain area, a sector of the community, and make it a generalization of a rule. As I said, had they asked for DNA for everybody, which I have been clamoring for from the time you go to get an ID or you go to get a police record, they should take your DNA. Then we would have had a DNA bank, and then it would have made...
No, but that is, to my mind, a little more intrusive than what is being now requested in the context of purchasing alcohol. Look, Garth and I went to somewhere, we were in New Orleans. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe in New Orleans. If I did not have my passport on me, I could not have been served alcohol.
No,
you understand the importance of that?
And cigarettes, which is understandable, but saying that you have to have an ID in all public spaces...
It is in the context of the new law that is being discussed, sir.
That is a step to making a police state.
So what is...
Anytime you are demanding certain
context,
things...
Context.
Right. Let me ask you something, sir.
Yes, sir.
You don't see it necessary, but let's say you're in a vehicle, you're driving your own vehicle, you get into an accident, or you go somewhere, you're lineman, something happens, the first thing they will do is check your wallet to see who you are.
Correct. And as Benton is saying online, what's the point of having an ID if you don't have it on you?
On you. The IDs identify you. So if something happened to you in a fete or by the beach or whatever, who is this person? You're John Doe until they see ID, you know. So look at it from that point of view. Would you agree to that?
Well, yeah, but it's not supposed to be mandated.
Yes.
It's the same thing like me wearing my bracelet to say whether it is I'm allergic to penicillin or not. That is up to me. I do it for my safety, yes. But another person, it should not be a mandatory. This is what I'm saying. Once you start mandating things, it becomes a problem because now it's being forced upon you.
So do you have a problem with laws and laws in general? Aren't laws mandates? The law requires you to wear your seatbelt. If you don't feel like wearing your seatbelt, you could not wear your seatbelt, right?
For things like that, no problem. That's a law. But when you bring things and mandating people, it's like mandating your speech. Yes, there are things that you cannot say or should not say, but you can't tell me what I have to say.
But
those things are dictatorial.
All right, caller. Thank you.
And stepping in dangerous ground.
All right, thanks. You see, an ID card is not a backpack, you know.
Thank you.
And, you know, it's not like there's the big strain on you.
Exactly.
There are some people like Rebel without a cause. You just...
Fighting up,
nitpicking.
beating up for nothing.
That's
for
nitpicking.
Nothing.
You know,
really and truly. I mean, honestly.
Again,
if something... Too far now.
So you drive without your license? You drive without your ID? Come on.
Would you go anywhere without some form of identification of who you are? Why wouldn't you? But and in this context, which this whole debate is being raised, is to do with the sale of alcohol. If you go into an establishment that is selling alcohol, the owners or the people who are selling the alcohol to you need to know how old you are.
Caller, you know we're supposed to have trained bartenders in all clubs too?
Oh my God.
You know that's the next story too? Trained bartenders who are trained to even spot when someone has too much to drink and deny them sale of alcohol. No, that will cause fight here. But in other places, they call SIP-trained bartenders, that they can identify when you are when you've had enough, and say, nope, we're cutting you off, no more beer for you, no more tequila for you, no more, and that's it. And you think, as we ask the question, you think you all will accept that here? If to walk with ID, you feeling like we're in a police state. No, you fix it, Jesus.
We really take this thing out of context.
Yeah, we nitpicking here, man.
Overdoing it.
That is nitpicking. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. God, this is extraordinary how people just think and they understand as we have problems, they'll complain about the problem. When you make initiative to resolve a problem, they complain about the initiative to solve the problem. No matter how small the initiative is, they're going to still complain. At the end of the day, we're in a crisis in all areas of Trinidad and Tobago, and whatever attempt to resolve that crisis is a good attempt. You will not get everything your way, and to resolve it is going to take some level of discomfort for everybody.
Correct.
However, a simple thing which most people already practice, including myself, is to have an ID on me all the time. It's a simple thing. You can identify who it is, and you can actually verify if you're buying alcohol, if you're smoking under the age, etc. If it is that you're not supposed to smoke marijuana at a certain age, and you know that you already have a problem, therefore you could try to rectify a problem, or it could also discourage person from indulging in smoking marijuana at a certain age. Laws will deter people, and because sometimes people don't want to fall into criminal act, they will change their behavior. It's a start, and we will build on it from there. It is basic common sense.
Basic.
Basic. Hello?
Yes?
Yes, go on.
Yes, and to say, to have this thing with Janice and these types of influence and people wanting a better life easily, it's something that we need to understand, that the consequences of wanting an easy life, it always have big consequences.
Yes.
And not because somebody gets you, you feel that you will get you. So I don't know how it is that they blank out the consequences and only study the reward. You know, if we really blank out the consequences to anything and study the reward, we'll be doing a lot of dumb things. You know?
Correct.
Yes.
So
I think it's
thank you
also,
again.
yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, go ahead.
You're welcome.
No, I was just going to say it's also maybe a symptom of the fact that young people's brains aren't fully developed to understand these things. Because these two young women were under 25.
This is what your callers, like the first caller earlier, talking about people who already in the ways and innocent people and whatever the case to be. Is an attempt. You must start somewhere. If they should have started 15 years ago, well, they should have started 30 years ago. I want to say 60 years ago. How long we should go? Come on, let me be like, common sense. You know, you have to start somewhere to rectify some problem. And the thing about it, what you just said, we're not acknowledging that young brains isn't enough developed to be stable and think alongside of adults. And experience also as the young brain develop. So we who making laws develop brains is catering for brains that is not even developed as yet. So anyway, thanks very much for your other good work.
You're welcome, sir. To our YouTube family as well, we're having a good participation here, and we appreciate that. And, Garth and Natasha, you surprised me by trying to overlook what the caller said. Accountability and enforcement is a big problem in our country. Of course, we acknowledge that. Yes. But having an ID, nobody should mandate me. I do that automatically. That is automatic for anybody. Like if you go out and something happens to you, you must have ID for them to identify you. Otherwise, you're a Jane Doe or a John Doe.
Correct.
On a hospital bed on a gurney until we could find out who you are.
Correct.
So nobody should have to mandate you to work with the ID in the first place.
But according to Stacey on Facebook is raising a good point here. The unfortunate thing as it relates to the ID card is that vulnerable persons such as those who are homeless or even those who are recently released from prison, unable to access some services because of the fact that they don't have identification. That is a separate issue. And we understand the issue when it comes to certain vulnerable groups who do not have any identification because they're either without housing or they have been incarcerated for a long period of time or whatever the case is. That is quite a separate issue, and the access that they have to social services again is kind of related to what we're talking about when it comes to alcohol. Do we have the social services required to prevent and to treat the fallout and the harms that are associated with alcohol use?
Let's go back to the line. 622-3937. Good morning. Hello?
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, Natasha.
Morning.
It's still morning. Yeah, Mr. Toronto here. I want to educate some people in Trinidad and Tobago. You step in a car here, and you put on your seatbelt. Here what happening? You're going to get a ticket. The person who is a passenger in the car don't have a seatbelt on, you will get a ticket. I know it's $110. The driver will get one. You will get two.
That applies here.
Okay? One for the passenger in the back, and one for himself. Okay? That's number one. Number two, if you are driving a vehicle, now we have unmarked police cruisers here, we call them cruisers. Unmarked police cruisers or marked police cruisers, they're driving behind you. They will pull up behind you and punch up your number plate. Right? And then decide, oh, let me pull this person over. You cannot tell a police officer, I'm not handing over your ID or your driver's license. They already punched up, they know who are you already. They ask you, right, to confirm you was the owner of the car. You check it out. If you break traffic light, then if you break any illegal thing, they pull you over, they will ask you for it, you have to hand it over. Anybody walking the street, I walk in the street, I had to have my ID on me. I walk the street with my ID. If anybody asks for my work ID, no, I will get that, but for my regular ID, yes, my regular ID.
I turn to
right. Another thing with this drug thing, you got some years ago. You know what they transferred drugs in here, boy? In T-shirts, and it was so surprising when that came through that they found drugs in T-shirts.
Yeah, it was soaked in it, and yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're getting very brave with these things.
Chemically remove
very
it.
brave with these things.
Yeah.
So when I listen to the woman and them, I talk about drugs trade and these kind of things. These things that happen all different kind of forms. But again, I'll let people know that way is not the right way. It's better you go to school, continue school. And I see I had something we played earlier with a guy telling the kids that they don't get in trouble with during the holiday break.
Yes,
I'll tell them the same thing.
All right, Tonto, we gotta go.
Look for a job. Don't follow friends.
All right, thanks a lot. We have to go.
Okay, blessed.
Coming up to the news here. But we have that law here too. You get caught without your seatbelt on, and
driver or passenger.
Driver or passenger. So that has been going on for quite a while here, and at least drivers now, I think, the majority of drivers I see now use their seatbelts, without a doubt. That we've grown past that, thank God. We still haven't learned to use walkover properly yet. That's another problem, because east, west, north, and south people doing it.
Correct.
Anytime they want, just running on that walkover. It makes no sense to me. But, Natasha?
Today's stories remind us that behind every headline, there's a human being, often recruited through promises, driven by need, and exploited without always knowing what they are getting into.
And this is exactly what the act, means, and purpose of human trafficking matter. Whether it's the lure of a free trip, money, or just a way out. When someone is used to profit through manipulation or abuse of power, that's trafficking.
So if you or someone you know is being recruited under suspicious circumstances, or if you see or hear anything that is aligned to what we described today, the act, means, and purpose, please speak up. Contact the Counter-Trafficking Unit at 800-4CTU, or that's 800-4288.
The Counter-Trafficking Unit, Ministry of Homeland Security, brings you Dependency. We thank you, and you know what we say. We don't just share stories.
We change lives.
We hope we've changed some of your lives this morning, or mind, or guide you in the right direction. But remember, once you're detected, once you carry it, once you recruit, you're breaking the law. And most of all, once it's in your suitcase, it is yours. You could plead how much if you want. It is yours. It's vacation time, people. Please be careful. Please be aware. Keep your wits about you. Do not accept anything, gummies, edibles, whatever. Try. Please, we know it's difficult. The peer pressure is real. But arm your children. At least now you have the tools as parents to arm your children before they go out. Have a great week. Take care. Major News up next with Mr. Nika James at 12.
Good afternoon.
Right.